New train service is going to help things run a lot smoother in the Bronx. Not only will 4 Metro North stations be added, but thousands of jobs will also be generated.
And like everywhere else across our area, the Bronx is also seeing a big jump in COVID cases once again. So joining us this morning to talk about it all is Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson. So good morning, Borough President. Thanks very much for being with us today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you too. So let's start off with that topic that's on everyone's mind really as we head into the holidays. The tridemic. We're talking COVID, flu, RSV cases, all on the rise everywhere. The Bronx also seeing a rise in the number of COVID hospitalizations. So are there specific or particular neighborhoods where you're actually seeing higher numbers?
Right. So we've been seeing an increase and a spike in Co-op City, City Island, Mott Haven, Belmont, parts of Allerton, and the Concourse. So what we're doing is working closely with DOHMH health officials on a real strategy. We're going to go into these communities over the next 2 weeks as the holiday approaches, and we're going to be giving out COVID-19 home testing kits and giving out information in multiple languages on how families can stay safe. We know that the holiday season, many of our Bronxites will gather in large settings, and we're reminding everyone of the urgency of this issue and of getting the booster shot, the second booster shot. I got mine a few weeks ago, as well as regularly getting COVID tested. I get COVID tested before I travel, as well as when I return, because we do realize that many people are still affected by COVID every day and RSV in terms of having cold and flu-like symptoms. Get your flu shot and make sure you do your part to stay safe, as well as your loved ones and family members.
All right, well, what about the RSV cases among young children? I mean, where does the Bronx stand in terms of those numbers, and are the hospitals even equipped to handle the influx of new patients?
So we've seen about a 14% increase in the number of cases among children under 18. So obviously we're very concerned about that, and we're working with many of our different stakeholders, a lot of community-based partners on the ground that work with many of our families with school-age children. And a lot of it is really about education. It's about outreach. It's about reaching families where they are at the local healthcare center in a culturally sensitive and language diverse way. It's about making sure that we have services available that are free, that are accessible, and most of all, that are convenient. We want to make sure that we are talking to families about primary care, about health care, and wraparound services. Many of our public schools have school-based health clinics. So we're working with Montefiore, Children's Aid Society, Health and Hospitals, North Central, Jacoby, Bronx Care, St. Barnabas, all of our healthcare institutions. We're having conversations with them about how we can do more on outreach.
Yeah, that's a big effort. You talk about healthcare there. The tridemic also raises the issue of health inequities in some of the underserved communities in our city. So what's being done to address that right now in the Bronx?
It does, and I think COVID-19 was certainly a highlight for us of the level of health disparities that so many Bronxites face, so many that live with obesity, heart disease, diabetes. Our Health and Human Services team has been very anxious in working on maternal health care, fibroids, lupus, and diabetes. So many ailments that are preventable that are really dominant in the communities of color and immigrant communities. A lot of it is about education and about access and opportunity, about making sure that all families have access to primary care, because a lot of families are underinsured and not insured at all. And we want to make sure that they have access through initiatives that the city has embarked on, NYC Cares and other programs. Whether you have Medicaid, Medicare, you deserve access to quality health care. So this is an ongoing process. We never stop, even after COVID, stopped 2 years ago. We have been continuously having roundtables. We have an HIV/AIDS roundtable. We've been working with many credible messengers in the healthcare field. So we will be making a series of announcements, as well as doing PSAs during the holiday season.
All right, safety is paramount any time of the year, but holiday shopping, it's in full swing. Fordham Road bustling with people. So is Bay Plaza Mall. And of course, the holidays do attract crime, unfortunately. Let's talk about what the NYPD is doing. Are they beefing up patrols in the Bronx?
Absolutely. So we have a close relationship with Patrol Borough Bronx. All 12 of our commands, 2 transit districts, and 2 PSAs. We've had extensive conversation with Chief Phil Rivera and all of our commanding officers, our community affairs officers. We've been doing safety summits at community centers and senior centers, reminding residents of just behavior changes. When you're traveling, when you're shopping on major commercial corridors, you know, be mindful of your surroundings, because we don't want you to be an innocent victim, a victim that's targeted in terms of theft or robberies. Unfortunately, you know, we've seen an uptick in the level of commercial robberies, so we have to do more to strengthen small businesses. We have beefed up the physical presence of police officers along the Fordham Road corridor, the 4-6 and the 5-2 precinct areas within Parkchester, City Island, Morris Park, Allerton, the South Bronx, the Hub, Mott Haven. We've been working with all the precincts around the clock. I have a call later today with the 4-4 precinct because of the 161st Street corridor. We want to make sure that residents feel safe and pedestrians, as well as the presence on subway stations, the B, D, the 4 line along Jerome Avenue, the Grand Concourse. We work with TD11 and TD12 to increase the presence on the platform, as well as the entrance and exits of our subway stations.
All right.
Well, speaking of mass transit, real quickly, Metro North building 4 new Metro North stations in the Bronx and Co-op City, Morris Park, Parkchester, and Hunts Point. This is huge, right, for your borough. How is it going to benefit your residents in the Bronx?
It is truly a game changer, and this has been a long time coming. I want to recognize many elected officials, including my predecessor, Ruben Diaz Jr., who really started these conversations with all levels of government, from Senator Schumer, Congressman Torres, and so many others that said we need transit access on the east side. We need access to Penn Station. So this is truly a game changer. We are funded. We did the groundbreaking last week with Governor Hochul and Majority Leader Schumer, and we are starting Parkchester, Morris Park. We are excited about Co-op City and Hunts Point. Think about the jobs that it's going to generate. The good paying jobs, the stability for families, the transit access. We want to take people out of cars, but guess what? In order to do that, they need better transit access that is affordable, that is accessible right in their neighborhoods. The business corridors that will benefit our merchants and small businesses. So we are excited, and 2027, we will do the official ribbon cutting on 4 new Metro North stations in the borough of the Bronx. Very excited.
Amazing.
All right, Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson, thank you so much for joining us. We've run out of time, but there's always plenty to talk about. Thank you again.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you all.
Happy holidays
Same
to
to
you
you.
too.
All right.
Thank you so much.